Critical Conversations, episode 14.
15?
I think
15?
I
don't know.
I think now that I've been
I always get
editing
it.
these, you always get it right. I always get it wrong.
15. I just checked. It's 15. This is 15.
Every time I get it wrong. So let's not embarrass future Sam. 14. Wait, 15. You just
15.
said it.
That's a milestone, right? That's 1-5. That seems half of 30.
1-5. Sure. That seems like a milestone.
Sure.
Yep. So if it's your first time, this is Critical Conversation Show. My name is Sam Castles. This is my co-host, as always, Jared Bessie.
What's up, y'all?
We've taken like a week off here and there, but we're heading into the holidays where we probably won't be posting for a little bit. So this is our kind of fun, special Christmas episode.
Christmas edition.
Sort of adios for the holidays. We'll be back in January with some hot news. Let's see what happens in between now and then.
No, hopefully nothing, and we transition to 2021 nice and smooth. But
yeah, 2021. No kidding. And
yeah,
yep, all of that. But if this is your first time with us, this is basically a show to sit down and have important conversations about tough, maybe inflammatory discussion or topics, and really sit down in a way that's helpful and constructive, and a lot less noise and yelling involved, and just trying to be better consumers of news and better discussers of news. So thanks for joining us. It's good to have you. We're going to start out with a little bit of news from Jared here and a little bit of talk about politics, as little as possible, and we'll be jumping in to a Christmas movie tier list. And we're going to discuss our movies, and hopefully you guys will have lots of opinions as well. But definitely a little change of pace, a little fun episode for the holidays. Hope you guys are ready for a good Christmas, and it's coming up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
so soon.
So soon. But when we post this, it'll be the week of Christmas. So
yep.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so we're just going to do a little Christmas stuff, but then I want to talk about a couple big news items this week, or I guess it's been a couple weeks since we last recorded. But first, we have a COVID vaccine. So that is very exciting. When we last had an episode, I think it was just about to roll out in Britain, and it's rolled out there. And this week we've had people getting COVID vaccines. So that's exciting stuff. I'm sure everyone's heard at this point. But yeah, so that's kind of the big announcement for this week. We also had the Electoral College officially cast their votes, and it went smoothly. Nothing really seemed to be too crazy. So we officially have President-elect Joe Biden. I think we can say that now, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty smooth. Although I saw I think it was in Georgia, the Georgia GOP is we're casting our own vote for, whatever. And it was you can't, that's not how this works. That's a bunch of people just being I also cast a vote for the Electoral College. You know how it is. What else do we have this week, Sam? Anything else?
Yeah, I think the vaccine news has kind of been what's on everyone's lips. I don't know about you, but it kind of seemed the vaccine's on the horizon. It's on the horizon. It's on the horizon. All of a sudden, one day, the UK is administering it. And then about a week later, here we are. And healthcare workers have already started getting them. I don't know about you, Jared, but some of my friends know people or have family that have already started getting it, which is pretty crazy to think about. I know
one of my coworkers, her friend is in the ICU with COVID patients. And so she's getting it tomorrow. So it's it's happening fast. So
yeah, and I think in our short tenure, there haven't been too many horror stories. I think you might get mild symptoms, kind of like any flu shot for a little bit there as your body's fighting off the virus. But pretty standard. And I think there's going to be more on the way. I saw on the news that the FDA approved the Moderna vaccine, which I'm definitely no expert on this, but it looks like it's potentially a better vaccine, more effective. And it also seems like there's a lot more of them. So it's actually just looking at this from the Washington Post on what states are getting what numbers of Pfizer vaccines. And it seems like Pfizer vaccines, depending on how big your state is, it could be 20,000 to maybe 80,000, somewhere in there. But the Moderna vaccines are usually in the hundreds of thousands. So
Wow.
Florida, for example, is getting 180,000 Pfizer ones. They're getting 990,000 Moderna ones.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Georgia's getting 92,000 Pfizer and 470,000 Moderna. So a lot more potentially to come. Looked up a little timelines, kind of estimate.
Yeah, I was about to ask because, like, I feel like the timeline has shifted so many times throughout this whole thing, right? It was
right.
beginning, it was like, oh, a vaccine's at least a year and a half out, and now we're less than 9 months, and we're already administering something, which I think is a testament to how incredible the people that worked on this is. But
yeah.
So what's the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is really interesting. Like looking back, there were a lot of articles really early on that were like, Trump says we could have him by the end of the year. Experts say he would need a miracle and stuff like this.
Yep.
And it's no disrespect to the experts, but when you're in a scenario like this and when unprecedented has been uttered an unprecedented number of times, the prediction game is very, very hard. So,
yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, I think it's starting to solidify. Like we did get a vaccine before the end of the year. Looks like multiple vaccines probably. And I think January, December, February should all kind of be those immunocompromised elderly, the hospital workers,
healthcare workers,
the frontline, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those groups will get it first. And then as we get into the April, July range, I think is when they're estimating that your average healthy American can start getting it. Probably like me and you, Jared, very young, have no huge issues, definitely working in not healthcare related areas. So it might be a while, but
I'm thinking late summer, early fall is what I'm expecting, but who knows? If by October I can go to a concert, that would be the dream, the dream world.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll happen, but it's the dream.
I feel like there's two factors because you're going to see the vaccine hopefully will curb some of the deaths, some of the case counts.
Right.
And so that will go down. But I think you're also going to see like people still be really careful and like unsure of it. And there's still a chance or whatever. So I'm sure that it'll be a slow thing and those big events. Yeah. Concerts I'm not optimistic about, but like
I know, but you never know.
being like having everyone in school and back in the office, that seems a lot more realistic.
Right.
But,
for sure. Yeah, which I guess I'm in Texas, so back in school, back in the office has been the norm here. So
true.
not the norm,
so
but
here.
Yeah, definitely more so than Virginia.
Right.
So
yeah, it's crazy. Cases are really high right now. So
yeah, it's wild for sure.
Yeah.
Just some other COVID kind of alternate news. So as you guys know, I work for a company that does a lot of religious liberty stuff, and they focus on religious liberty cases. And so we've had this case pending at the Supreme Court for Kentucky schools. Basically, the case is like schools were allowed to meet, but only private religious schools weren't allowed to meet. Public schools were cool, but private religious schools couldn't meet. And so
oh wow,
the governor order, and we were like, actually though, no, that's not constitutional. And so that went to the Supreme Court, went to Kavanaugh. We petitioned him specifically. And then they wrote today, and they actually said they're not going to review the case because they took so long to look at it. That order expires January 4th. So they're like, if he rules it again in the spring, then we'll review. So that's just some interesting news. And there's been a lot of cases. California Circuit Courts, the Ninth Circuit, just ruled that religious schools could stay open, as long as they're being treated the same. And it was also churches. That they couldn't be as locked down as they were before. So just some interesting legal stuff that's still been going on with all this COVID nonsense. There's so many states and stuff that are, I don't even think it's all purposeful, but mistreating churches and religious institutions because it's not on their mind as much. And I don't think a lot of these more secular governments don't realize how important that is to communities. That often gets left out of the mix. But
yeah, something I've appreciated about Virginia is they've had some recent rollbacks, but the churches have been exempt and stuff like that. So
yeah, super cool.
That is very helpful.
I think
go ahead.
Churches, have a vested interest in keeping their like constituents, and like some of the most enforced rules I've seen are at churches, because it's so much easier to be able to like have people sit in the state, like, it's just, it can, or you can do it outside. Like there's a lot of different options as
Right.
opposed to Walmart, or whatever that takes just
Yeah.
as long and just as many people, if not more,
Yeah.
or a
Right.
restaurant or anything like that.
Right. So, you can keep your mask on at church.
Right. You can't at the restaurant, you are much more crowded.
You can,
so
right, orderly file in and out. It's very simple. Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed. Cool.
Well, the last kind of news that I want to talk about, and kind of more election stuff, is the continuing saga of Americans who think that the election was stolen. And I know we kept pretty quiet on this last time when we talked conspiracy theories, because I didn't want to get into it too much, and mostly I was hoping that it would die down. But I think the thing that made me want to talk about a little bit was this past weekend was a thing called the Jericho March, which was a rally held in Washington, D.C. And it hasn't really gotten much press or much coverage, which is kind of surprising, but I guess people have just kind of written it off as crazies, which a lot of them were. But there's some big names. Eric Metaxas was the MC, and in Christian conservative circles, he is, a very big name, writer of Bonhoeffer and the Seven Men and Women books and Amazing Grace. Those are all books I've read, and is just a very prominent kind of historian and speaker in that area. And so he's gone very far to the election has been stolen, and we are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that Trump still wins or Biden doesn't win. And it's just a fascinating cultural movement, specifically within, I feel like, this subgroup of evangelical Christians that have bought into this movement more, which is I think is somewhat surprising to me. But it's wild. So if you can watch the event, it was all streamed online. What was one of the funniest things to me is that there's literally, so I don't know if you know the MyPillow guys. If they're like crazy right wingers, but they have this pillow thing. That's all over right wing stuff, and they were sponsors of the event. So literally, Eric Metaxas gets up there and he's like saying, I will literally, like, blood needs to be spilled, all these just crazy inflammatory things, and then he's like, and by the way, use the code Eric and you can get a 25% discount on MyPillow, and then gets off the stage. It's like, what is happening? Is this an ad? Like, you're literally calling for revolution or like all this craziness, and then you're like, oh, by the way, you can get a discount. If that's not the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's like the most like libertarian, like capitalism funded revolution. Like
Exactly. Anyway, I just found that so funny, and apparently, like, if you live streamed it, like MyPillow ads would play. Like, would like pop up on the screen, take over like half of the screen, and like play while you were watching these people speak. And it's just really funny to me.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway, it just gets me annoyed that so many people, like, I think I was reading a bunch of stuff about it this week, but there's a lot of like statistics that so many Republicans have, because a lot of Republicans take in messages from elites, right? And so when these elites are taking cues from Trump, and Trump is saying one thing, and then it just kind of trickles down, and congressmen are worried about getting reelected, and so they end up just listening to what their constituents want as opposed to what they actually believe. But they're only saying what they think the constituents want to hear, which is that they support Trump. And so it's this horrible cycle that ends up in perpetuating mistruths, because no one's actually saying what they actually think. They're just taking cues from each other.
Yeah,
anyway.
I totally hear what you're saying. It, for a Republican senator or congressman or something to be like, oh, Trump he's wrong. This wasn't a rigged election. It was fair. Trust the court system. All of that can make you really unpopular with your constituents. And doing that calculus in your head, you might just be like, is this worth not getting reelected over? Like, this is all going to play out the same way. So maybe I just stay quiet.
See, that's the thing. there's like this weird blend of these politicians have to know that the courts are, it's not going to go, like, it's not going to work in the courts. Like there's no evidence, like none of these lawsuits have passed, like none, they're getting struck down by Trump appointed judges, all, everything. And so they've taken this political calculus to be like, well, if I support this, it makes me popular with my constituency, and it also it won't actually do anything politically, or won't actually take any action because it's going to get struck down by the Supreme Court or whoever. But I think it can do damage, and it could do lasting damage to the people that believe those politicians. And instead of these people standing up and being like, hey, this is what's the truth, and then they're just perpetuating these mistruths, which end up leading to craziness. So I don't know where the GOP is going to be in 4 years, but this is an interesting start for it, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
So
I don't know. It's such a complicated thing to figure out how it's going to play out. Like we've seen, isn't Fox News like basically in the tank since all of this stuff? I mean, just it's like wrecked way down, right?
Anecdotally, like I know lots of people that are just like, I'm not watching Fox News anymore. They're part of the conspiracy, right? Going back to that conspiracy thing, like no matter what you say isn't true, and you can't prove me wrong. And so I think so many people have turned into OAN, which is One American News, and Newsmax and Epic Times. They have like a video channel now. So there's just a lot of this, like, let's just go find what agrees with us. I think what's one of the most interesting things and seems so anti-conservative to me is, and Rod Dreher, I forget how you say his name. He's written the book called the Benedictine Principle, and it's this. He's like was a former Catholic, very conservative, and is now a Christian, is now in the evangelical movement. He's written a lot about this last couple of weeks. Oh shoot, I don't know where I was going with this anymore. But yeah, so he was just writing about how crazy the Jericho March was, and how conservative. Oh yeah, this is right on. Sorry. So basically, conservatives are saying, like people like Eric Metaxas, and like when they're asked by other people, like, "What's the evidence? What do you think?" They've started to say like, "Oh well, it's just what I think. It's just what I believe, and it's just what I." Which seems like the kind of rhetoric we usually hear from the left when we talk about these kinds of things, right? I mean, that's the whole facts over feeling kind of stuff that started on the right, but is now being taken. And I think it's because of the Christianity side of it. That's like, well, God said that Trump was going to win, and if Trump doesn't win, then does that mean God is wrong? So it can't be that. So Trump has to win. Like it's this kind of like self-perpetuating thing, and so you have to buy in because you've tied all of these things together in your mind. And so he wrote about that a lot, and I thought that's such an interesting parallel. Anyway, so
yeah, it's just such a. I don't know how to fix it or how to avoid this. Like at the end of the day, you have President Trump being mostly responsible for this, right? So
yeah, I mean, it definitely falls on his shoulders. Like it's literally, he tweeted one morning about a Michigan case that his lawyers were using, and he was like, "We will prove today that there's this, fraud in Michigan." And then that afternoon, the Michigan Trump's attorneys, like reached a settlement deal with the thing, basically saying, "Yeah, none of this is really true, but we'll get some money. Like we'll just wrap this kind of up nice and neat." And it's just this wholly disconnect from reality. And so I think it's a lot of it falls on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because I mean, like we've talked about with all these sources of different fake news, or you have anecdote here, anecdote there, and if you already are pretty sure you believe one thing, there's enough facts and enough stories to craft a viewpoint from there. And then once you believe the election was rigged, then you're rightly going to be very agitated and very inflammatory. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. I think, I don't know. I think in a year things will have settled
Yeah,
down a little bit.
I think it will. People right now are angry, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of mistrust, and there's a lot of, if Trump loses, there's X, Y, and Z is going to happen. It's really terrible. We might go back into a lockdown. This might hurt my family. This is going to lead to these different things, some of which may happen. And so I think it's okay to be worried about those things, but it doesn't give the right to do something else, in response.
Right.
I read an interesting article on Politico that was talking about, there's like this movement in Texas right now, or a couple people in the Texas GOP floating around like succession and like all of this stuff. And the article was like, America flirts with succession like every 3 months.
True. Absolutely true.
Literally since Benjamin Franklin was like, yeah, this isn't going to last longer than 2 weeks. That's
I think, both sides, like California does not want to be a part of the U.S. when red wins. Like,
oh yeah, it's funny. So that was a nice, like, it's kind of like a calming thing. Like, oh yeah, we talk this way a lot, but nothing actually happens, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think for me personally, like it was too much evidence to sit down and sort through every claim of fraud in every state and every scenario. Right. But at the end of the day, I had, we have these Supreme Court justices that I trust. I, as a conservative, I like Kavanaugh, I like Barrett, I like Thomas a lot.
Right.
And if all of these guys are throwing everything, saying there's nothing here, there's nothing here, it's not going to make it through there, then that's enough for me. I've sit in a little apartment in Northern Virginia. Like, I'm not going to be able to be like, oh, everyone else is wrong,
No, like, for sure. I think that's
enough for me.
Yep. And McConnell officially said, finally, it took a while, but he officially announced, I think 2 days ago, he said, congratulations, President-elect Joe Biden, like, it's over. So that was like right before the Electoral College voted.
McConnell's back to being head GOP man again.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I gotta step back up,
Yeah.
So
after crushing his election.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of that. We can move on to a lighter topic now. But
yes,
it's worth talking about. And
when is swear-in day?
January 20th. But we have one last step in the House where the House has to
count the votes or whatever.
Yes, count the votes and like confirm the Electoral College voted correctly. Which there is talk, like stand up and don't vote the way it's supposed to. But the Democrats own the House, so it's not nothing's gonna happen.
Yep. No.
And even if the Republicans did, I don't think it would. So.
Yeah, January 20th or 21st of January 20th is a Sunday, which it is not. So
yeah, so I think it's January 20th.
So we'll have an episode before then, probably.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's literally on my Apple calendar, Inauguration Day. January
nice.
Wow. All right. Well, it is the time of year to cheer for the season, and it's the reason to watch Christmas movies, because Christmas movies are one of the great things about Christmas time. True. One of the best things about Christmas food and Christmas movies. I feel like that's far and away the best things.
Yeah, I would call myself a Christmas movie guy, but I probably can never compare to your movie knowledge in any genre. So Christmas is probably no exception. I have no doubt that you've seen a lot more Christmas movies than I have.
I've just seen a lot of movies, man. I don't know Christmas movies specifically, but lots of movies. So we're gonna screen share, I think.
I'll pull it up here.
So if those of you that are listening to this, you can either go watch it, or you can. Oh, hold on. Okay. I think you're on the wrong screen. It says you have started screen sharing.
What?
Yeah, I'm not seeing what you're
screen sharing is paused. Why?
That's a good question.
Share.
Aha. So if you want to watch this, or we'll try to explain things best we can for your audio listeners.
Yes.
We have.
So,
Go ahead. Oh, we have six tiers and about 25 movies, 30 movies, something like that.
That's probably 25.
25-ish. So we've got at the top of our list. Scroll back up. We have the star atop the tree, the crowning jewels, if you will, of Christmas movies. Our next tier is the nice list. So those that are just fantastic movies still. We've got leftover cookies, still really good. Cookies they're really good, but they're a little stale. Cold cocoa, just not very good. You could drink it, but you really don't want to. And then
stick that thing in the microwave.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And then the naughty list, so just all around duds, crappy movies. And then last but not least, the movies we haven't seen or snow in Texas.
Yeah. I've never ever experienced a white Christmas before.
Wow, it's a sad life you live. But I mean, yeah, that's Texas for you. I get to go on vacation every year, so I'm just cooler than you. So that's all there is to it.
Hey, you don't know what it's like to have a little Christmas football game on Christmas. Be outside.
It's fair. That is fair.
Warm weather. All right, so we're gonna talk through some of these. Hopefully, come to an agreement. Maybe some disagreement. We'll see. And if you guys are watching, feel free to comment. Let us know what your opinions are.
Yeah, did we rank these correctly? There's a few we have. True. Yeah, there's some we haven't seen, but I think we'll have an opinion on most of these.
Yeah, and this tier list is definitely missing a few classics. So if it's missing anything that absolutely needs to be on here, you can also let us know about that.
Yes. All right, shall we start with the first one? What do we got?
First one, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas is a classic, undeniably.
Super good.
I don't know if it's like true star, but I definitely think it's in the top few. So I'd say start it in the nice list, and we'll.
Yeah, I would say very, very solidly in the nice list. So many quotable moments.
Yep.
So many. Linus's little recitation is a beautiful scene.
For sure, and the tree is classic. Everyone wants to have a Charlie Brown tree.
Exactly. Christmas with the Cranks. I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, this one is Tim Allen. It's in the 90s.
Maybe I have. Can you remind me of the general plot?
I've seen it once. I saw it in theaters. It was like a throwback in the theaters. It's typical. I feel like I could get these misremembering because they're all kind of this way. But like deadbeat dad, and there's just hilarity ensues. It's like Christmas Vacation, but less funny.
Oh wait, I have seen this. It says, with their daughter Blair away, Luther and Nora Crank decide to skip Christmas altogether until she decides to come home, causing an uproar when they have to celebrate it at the last minute because they hate it, right? Like they hate Christmas.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Fun. I'd say it's either leftover cookies or cold cocoa. One of somewhere in there.
I'd say leftover cookies.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good. Next up, Die Hard. I mean,
which is a Christmas movie, right?
I would 100% agree. I just watched it last week and can confirm it has enough Christmas themes. It's at a Christmas party. It says Merry Christmas. Like, it's Christmassy enough. Definitely a Christmas movie.
All right. Cool.
I love Die Hard, so I would put it at the top, but I also understand if you don't.
Ooh, that high?
I love 80s action movies, though, so it's a great Christmas movie. Oh, but it's not as Christmassy as a Christmas movie. So I can put it on the nice list if you want.
Oh man, it's really close. Let's put it here for now, and then if we want to bring it back up later, we can. Perfect. All right, Elf.
That's the top for me.
I agree.
It's so quotable. It's just so Christmassy. It's perfect.
It is great. And a lot of people do not like Elf. And I think it's one of those things that if you can't handle the cringe humor, or the just absurdity humor, it's not going to be for you. But I absolutely believe this movie is super funny. And
it's so good.
So quotable.
Yes, it's just excellent.
So quotable. Frosty the Snowman, another classic as classics can get.
Yeah, I definitely always liked this one less than some of the other classics. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Um, I always thought it was weird that he melted at the end.
yeah,
So
that was weird. There were some quotable moments like,
happy birthday.
yeah,
I don't
no
know.
money, no tickets.
The my favorite part as a kid was the magician guy, where he just always
Uh,
messing up his tricks. You know, he was
yeah,
always
that was good.
hilarious.
That's like classic cartoon humor.
Yep. No, for
I'd
sure.
say leftover cookies probably.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd take it. I'm not
Yep.
gonna not eat leftover cookies.
Exactly.
It's not like way up there. All right, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
This one's it's great. I mean, it's fun. It's very classic. I don't like the other versions of the Grinch, which I don't think are on this list.
True.
Um, I don't. I know people like. I know a lot of people our age really like the Jim Carrey version. I don't. Um,
Yeah, I think this is the
so
animated one is perfect, and they should not change it. Like, it's
agree.
great.
Although
It's a little.
my sister
It's so
really
short.
it is really short. It's like 25 minutes. My sister really likes the new one, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, but I have not seen it, so couldn't tell
Oh
you.
yeah, I think I've seen that. Okay, nice list.
Yep, I think that's good. It's classic.
If it was longer, I'd put it star atop the tree, but
Better than Frosty for sure.
oh, for sure. Yeah. Home Alone, the first one.
Oh, I love the Home Alone movies. So I actually
Yeah.
saw the second one first, ironically enough, because it was always on
Oh.
TV, and the first one was always like on VOD because it was more classic.
Yeah.
So I rate them about the same in my head. So
You think it's star? This is the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time.
it's up there for sure. I probably like Die Hard more, but it's also Home Alone's very funny. So I definitely
This feels right. I could definitely see both of these getting brought up later
yes.
if none of these make it. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
All right, Home Alone 2. You think right behind Home Alone?
Yes, I'd put it slightly lower than Charlie Brown. Yeah, bottom of the nice list.
I think I've seen Home Alone 2, but I can't really remember that
As
much
he goes
about
to New
it.
York and he gets a pizza and he gets in the car.
Yeah,
and,
he meets Trump.
He meets Trump. Exactly. What a perfect movie.
Jingle All the Way.
Boo. Don't like it.
Naughty?
I mean,
Let me see if I've seen this.
I don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger funny movies. My dad loves it. Sorry, Dad, if you're listening.
It's Arnold? I definitely have not seen this.
I do not like Arnold in funny roles. He tried in the 90s to be like a funny guy for a while.
Ooh, this has 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm content with putting it in the naughty list.
Naughty list sounds good to me. Oof, yeah, that is not good. Bad Santa, I have not seen this.
Not seen it. Couldn't tell
Let's see. Yeah.
It's
this
R-rated. I know there was a sequel a couple years ago that didn't do as well. And
if it makes sense, R-rated.
R-rated.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
Yep.
Love Actually is the next one.
I have not seen Love Actually. I honestly didn't know it was a Christmas movie. Thought it was just a rom-com.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one either. But let me double check.
It's got like all the famous people because it's all these like little vignettes that are like tied together.
Yeah, it says follows the lives of 8 very different couples, which is 16 people.
Yep.
That does sound like a lot.
So anyway, Love Actually.
Yep, haven't seen it. Mickey's Christmas Carol.
This
one has 3 Mickeys. I don't know why.
Yeah,
tier list.
I've definitely seen the Christmas Carol. I say it's Cold Cocoa. It's fine. It does Mickey and Scrooge,
Nice.
So.
Which this is the Once Upon a
Christmas. It's like just little Mickey shorts doing Christmassy things. It's fine.
Cold Cocoa?
Yeah. I think that seems fair. I don't know if I've seen that. And if I have it, in no way can distinguish it from Once Upon a Time or Once Upon a Christmas.
Twice of Christmas. Yeah, haven't seen that.
Cool.
All right, Miracle on 34th Street.
I
This
love
is.
Miracle on 34th Street. That to me goes to the top.
Did
But
I like zoom in? I'm confused. All right, here we go.
no, it gets as we added more. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You think it's better than Die Hard?
Yes.
I think I agree. Is it better than Elf?
Ooh,
So hard to compare these two.
they're so different. I probably don't watch it every year. I watch it most years, whereas I watch Elf every year.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
I think if I'm gonna like have to skip one, I'm not skipping Elf.
yes, agreed.
All right, nice. I love Miracle on 34th Street. It is probably my favorite old movie.
Okay, we'll get to my favorite in a little bit, but yeah, it's up there.
What is this?
A Muppet Christmas Carol. So I know Logan.
I don't think I've seen this.
My roommate Logan, your friend Logan, loves this movie. This is his favorite Christmas movie.
This is my pastor's favorite Christmas movie.
I find it very fine. I think it's leftover cookies. It's just
all right.
It's a good version of the Christmas Carol, but it's
right.
Nothing spectacular.
But you see, the Christmas Carol is not on this list.
That is true.
And neither is what was the other couple? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is not on here.
No, Rudolph is.
Oh no, it is. Yes. Okay.
It's a little drummer boy. A little drummer boy is not on.
Yeah, a little drummer boy is not on.
That is a classic.
Yeah, that one is classic.
Okay, next.
All right. What is this?
This is Christmas Vacation, which is hilarious, and I would put it probably right behind Home Alone.
Okay, let me see if I've seen this. Christmas Vacation?
I
feel like I must have seen this.
Chevy Chase. It's if you've seen the original Vacation, it's similar, but they have Christmas at their house, and the cousin Eddie comes over and.
Wait, it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That is correct. National Lampoon is the magazine that made lots of movies.
Have I seen this?
Have you not seen Christmas Vacation? Oh, it's a classic comedy.
Surely I've seen this.
If you like really stupid humor like Home Alone and Elf, it's right behind those two. So,
surely I've seen this.
Yeah, there's a scene where he gets like 10,000 lights on his house, and he's trying to turn them on, but he can't because it's for some reason connected to the light switch in the garage, and they keep like flicking them off at the wrong time, and it finally goes on, and it like electrocutes him, and it's the scene on the cover.
Nice.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, I think I have seen this actually, but it's been a while. All right, cool. I'm fine with where you have it.
Okay.
This is the Polar Express.
Yep. Every time I watch it, I hate it a little bit more.
Yeah, I never really got this movie. There's the creepy marionette scene. As
a kid, I thought it was incredible. And now when I watch it, I just can't stand how creepy they all look.
They do look just a bit creepy. You know that meme with the yellow shirt kid?
Yes.
What's it? That comes right up.
They don't have
this kid
names.
Like there's so many memes with this guy.
Yeah, because they're all just so creepy looking. Look out.
Creepy and annoying. It's the know-it-all meme or whatever.
Yeah, just it was the worst. I think it's either bottom of leftover cookies or top of cold cocoa.
I'll put it top of cold cocoa. Like if someone tells me we're gonna watch Polar Express, I kind of groan a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Rudolph.
Rudolph is a classic, but it's also kind of weird and annoying.
Yeah, I like so many of the little songs though. Like
true, the songs are good.
And the little elf, what's his name? Hermie? Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
He wants to be a dentist.
He wants to
That's
be a dentist.
freaking so funny to
It's
me.
true.
And
The
then
songs are incredible. Is it better or worse than Frosty?
better for sure, I think.
You like it better than Frosty? Okay.
But I don't think I'd put it above the Grinch or Charlie Brown. So I could see it being
Okay.
bottom of
Top
top
of
of leftover cookies probably is the
Yeah,
most
I
accurate.
think that's a good spot. It's definitely better than Christmas with the Cranks. So
Yeah. All right, Scrooged. I don't think I've seen this one.
I've seen it a long time ago. It's the
Let's
other
see.
version of the Christmas Carol. That's I guess what they're putting on here instead.
Right.
It's a comedy though, and it's like set in the modern day. Um, it's pretty good. I thought it was funny. My dad likes it.
Good old Bill Murray.
Good old Bill Murray. But
All right, so
I don't know it. I don't know well enough to like know where to put it. I've only seen it once.
maybe
So
Cold Cocoa.
Yeah, top of cold cocoa. Well, yeah. Sure.
Higher? Lower?
No, I think that's fine.
The Santa Claus.
Ah, the Santa Claus. What a weird movie.
What a weird movie. I really like this movie though.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's definitely fun.
I love the part where he like explains to his boss, I did shave my beard, then it grew back. And the boss is like, then you cut it again. That's how it works. I love that scene.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I would definitely put this in really high leftover cookies or low nice list.
Yeah, I'd say stick it. I'd say I like it better than Home Alone 2. I don't know. Yeah, right around there.
Yeah, that feels about right to me.
Because if I'm gonna watch a Home Alone, I'd probably watch the first one.
Right.
And then I'd probably watch the class. Yeah.
Makes sense. What is this?
Murray Christmas.
I don't think I've seen this.
I have not seen it. I have no idea what it's about.
I'll at least do a quick Google. Very Merry Christmas. Wow, that came out in 2015?
Oh. Is it like because he's older on the poster. Is it stand up? Is it a movie?
No, it's a movie, I think. What does it say? It says on IMDb, Bill Murray worries that no one will show up to his TV show due to a terrible snowstorm in New York City. So I don't know. Maybe it's.
Is it like it's like a special? Is it like a special? Like a TV special?
It's like a musical. Yeah, it says TV special. Yeah.
Okay, it's a Netflix movie. It's Netflix.
It is?
Yeah.
How did this get on this list with all of these like renowned movies?
But Miley Cyrus is in it, and George Clooney, and Rashida Jones, and Chris Rock, and Amy Poehler. Wow, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Jeez Louise, yeah.
Maybe I should watch
Michael
it.
Cera. Yeah, hey, maybe it's still on Netflix.
All
right, White Christmas. And this is going to shock you, but I've never seen this in its entirety.
Well, I like Holiday Inn more than I like White Christmas. But I don't remember which one came first because they both have the song White Christmas in it. And I'm pretty sure Holiday Inn came first because that was always the thing. It's like, oh, even though White Christmas is named after White Christmas, the song White Christmas is actually in Holiday Inn. So I like Holiday Inn a lot. And I'd say that's probably top of the nice list, bottom star, top tree. But White Christmas is definitely lower. So
I know this is Catherine's favorite Christmas movie.
I'd stick it somewhere in the nice list. So it's very good.
Here?
Yeah, right after Charlie Brown.
All right, that feels right. All right, It's a Wonderful Life.
That's my favorite Christmas movie. It's 10 out of 10. One of my favorite movies.
Me too. Oh man, is it over Miracle on 34th Street or?
I like it even more than Elf, but if you like Elf more, we can put it right under. So.
Oh man, it's so tough because I mean my family watches this movie every year.
Yep.
It is super good.
Makes me cry like a little baby every time. And it's just a perfect story, and it's so touching, and the acting is so good, and it's just, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Let's put it first.
All right.
It's too good.
Too good.
What is this last one?
The Christmas Chronicles. This one is a weird one. All right. This is Kirk. No, not Kirk. This is who's the '80s guy? Russell. Wait, who's the Star Lord's dad? Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell. That's why I got it. It's Kurt Russell is Santa, and he's kind of like crazy Santa, like rock and roll Santa.
Oh.
And he decides he wants to like go around and do things in the real world, and gets drunk and gets into bar fights, and it's very funny.
Oh.
It's still a kids movie, but it's.
Wait, the Christmas Chronicles Part 2 came out this year?
It did, and I've heard it's equal crazy.
Less than a month ago.
I watched the first one randomly with my family, and it's fine. I'd say it's top of cold cocoa.
Nice.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Okay, anything we want to adjust?
I'm not opposed to still moving Die Hard and Home Alone to the top. That would give us 6. But I also understand those 3 are truly the best ones. Those 3 really are the best.
Yeah, I feel like these 3, there is a legit gap between these 3 and these.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But it might be worth having a separate tier just for these 2. You know what I mean?
Right, because I definitely think those are both better than the other ones. But
right, like
Holiday Inn is up there with me with Die Hard and Home Alone. But we don't have Holiday Inn on here.
Yeah, so Holiday Inn's missing. I was trying to think what else was missing. We said Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah, I'd say that's top of in leftover cookies somewhere.
There's plenty more terrible movies we could add to this. Like, there have been so many bad Christmas movies.
Oh, I watched the one last year. I was so excited for it too. It's Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick. I don't even remember the name. And I was I love Anna Kendrick, and I love Bill Hader. He's hilarious, and he's Santa, and he basically quits being Santa. And so she has to become Santa, right? Because he.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, that's a really interesting premise. Terrible, boring, dull, not funny, not interesting, very bad. That's a naughty list for sure.
Oh, yeah.
My whole family didn't like it, and that should tell you something.
My dad made us watch this movie called The Christmas Candle. Have you ever heard of this? It's based on Max Lucado's novel, The Christmas Candle.
Okay.
And it is so bad. It was so bad. It's definitely the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen.
Have you seen the?
We have never stopped giving him crap about it because one year we always watch the same ones, right? And then we're trying to figure out which classic to watch. And he comes in with this hot take, we have to watch The Christmas Candle. I feel really strongly about this, and we're like, okay, well,
sure.
We trust you, and it was so bad, and we still bring it up. I feel like I want to watch it again just to remember how bad it is, so I can accurately complain about it.
Have you seen The Christmas Shoes?
I feel like I have.
So this is based off of the song The Christmas Shoes, which is, the really sad song about the little boy who's singing because his mom's going to die of cancer and he wants her to have nice shoes when she goes meets Jesus. And they decided to make a whole Wheat Fest of a movie about it. And my sisters loved it. And so they always wanted to watch it. And I hated it because literally it was only made to manipulate your emotions and to make you cry. Like the song in its brevity is fine, but the whole movie, terrible. I mean, it ends with the mom dying. Like how it's, no bueno.
I guess I can stop sharing.
But I will say, we talked about this a little bit off air. I watched the worst Christmas movie I have ever seen, ever. I don't know if it's as bad as The Christmas Candle, but it has to be up there. And it's called Saving Christmas. This is a 2014 film with Kirk Cameron, and it's basically a lecture of a movie, and it's 80 minutes long. It has time for a 3.5-minute long Family Force 5 dance scene, which is a Christian rock band. It opens and Kirk Cameron's sitting in a fireplace, right? Which if you don't know who Kirk Cameron is, look him up. He's hilarious. And he's holding a cup, obviously empty mug, and he's just staring at the camera and telling you about how terrible all of these things are. And then you're like, okay, this will be a minute long. No, he goes on for 5 or 6 minutes of him just staring at the camera in front of the fireplace. That's how the movie opens. And then it cuts to the scene of the house. And instead of it just being like, start the movie, oh no, he starts narrating again. And so it's literally just Kirk Cameron talking at you for 80 minutes. And the theology is really bad. And it's super cringe.
Oh my gosh.
There's like 8 minutes of bloopers during the credits. It's wild. There's a whole like segment. So they're in the middle of talking. So eventually he goes out into the car to tell his brother-in-law named Christian, really subtle, all about why these Christmas things are okay to do. But in the middle of that, it cuts to these two guys back in the party who are like talking with mugs over their faces about conspiracy theories, and you're like, what is going on? Supposed to be funny? I don't know. I didn't laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Saving Christmas.
Amazing.
Thank you, Peter. He's listening to this for making me watch it. So
that's awesome. Well, this
yeah.
was fun. I feel like we have extremely similar Christmas movie views.
Yes.
Which kind of makes sense considering our similar taste in other things and similar upbringings.
Yep. I think moral of the story is you need to watch the Christmas Vacation again, and I need to watch.
Yeah.
I want to watch Scrooged again. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple. I feel like I just don't watch enough movies to properly rewatch the ones I want to watch and then add new ones.
True.
But
yeah,
need to make time for it, I guess.
Fair, for
to
sure.
Start early. All right. Do we have a parting recommendation before we head out for the holidays?
Yes, I do. I was going to do a Christmas one, but I didn't. So my recommendation this week is an article from Politico, which I know I try not to do political things every time for recommendations, but I thought this letter was really good. This article is really good. It's part of a series called Letter to Washington. Here, I'll share my screen. Which is really, it's just this series that this guy on Politico wrote about all of these different issues throughout 2020. And he collected hundreds of stories from Americans all over the country, from all different voter identities, whatever, and then compiled like the 20 of them that he thinks best represents the broad swath of the people he talked to. So it's really good. It's broken down by their faces, their age, their occupation, who they voted for, and just like snippets of their interview together. Or a lot of these people have like written to him a lot. And these are more politically engaged people, all people that voted and all people that have like interacted with him in some sense. But it's just a really good read. It's a really interesting sneak peek into the lives of different people across the country and how we can hopefully reconcile these vastly different opinions. My favorite guy, I don't know if I can find him. Maybe is this Charlie Wilson? Yeah, he voted for Kanye. All right, so he's already pretty cool. He has traveled to all 50 states. He is a life member of the NRA. He has 15 guns and enough ammo. He's a Democrat for 40 years, but now he's independent. He changed his mind about gun control and global warming and drives both an electric car and a 1-ton diesel pickup truck. He thinks there's been voter fraud, but he also hates like Trump. He's hilarious and wild. But yeah, I just think there's a lot of nice, insightful stuff in that. So it's definitely worth a read.
Cool.
That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I'll have to read it. Awesome. Thank you very much.
So, all right. Closing the show up, we are Critical Conversations again, and we are on Facebook and we are on YouTube. Hope you're watching this episode because it's fun. And we are on Spotify and Pocket Casts and Apple Podcasts. So we are on Apple Podcasts. Congratulations. I thought we weren't, but we are. Nice little Christmas surprise. And thanks for listening. And
thanks for listening.
We'll see you guys in the new year.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Enjoy the season. And
yeah. All right.
Appreciate you joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.